All right, everyone, welcome to UPTA Premium Advanced Topics. We're going to continue on with another playtest session, but in this case, I am testing for a little bit of game balance for the two-player game and just various other concerns that could arise through the normal flow of things. So let's just see what happens here. Okay, so early on, I can't grow the undercut crop right away, which is fine. Now, my experience has been that it's very difficult to do. Oh, there's three charred. Three charred, so we got a 3-for-1 already. So we'll grab some peas out of there. Now, each player kind of has to determine as they're going along how much effort do we want to put into going after that undercut crop if in fact it's becoming clear that you're spending more effort trying to do that rather than just playing a normal game. And so that's one of those another interesting difficult decisions that have to be made. Now, of course, you don't have to play nasty towards each other. You can play in a cooperative sense. The overall objective of UPTA is to feed people, feed as many hungry people as you can, thereby ensuring a social good. And so, since the collective goal is really just to score as many tokens as possible, you don't really have to play as one identity versus others. You can play, like the cooperative species, the social insects, the bees and the ants, right? They each have their particular task, but together, in mass, they accomplish quite a bit, right? Yeah, so in that sense, your interactions with each other can be negative or nasty if you want to be competitive. But you can be saintly. You can be diplomatic. You can, you're using the force of certain advantages to manipulate the overall outcome of the game in your favor, and then basically in everyone's favor. Everybody wins. So here's your 5. Let's try here I can make a purchase. If I want to focus on the peas, try to get that undercut crop, I want to buy a trading house. But I could just skip it. I already have a little bit of a lead here. Now, we don't have enough tokens quite yet. So, I think at this point I'll just buy a trading house. So, there's that. Bought the trading house. I'm going to use the trading house, and then I have one more action. So I'll grab extra peas out of there. Okay, so now I have the potatoes. Now I have another action. And then we're going to put the 5 on there just for production's sake. Let's see what happens. Because I know they have an adversity card. So early on, we have interactions, we have gameplay pressures where one person perhaps changes their strategy or what they're doing in light of the fact that other players have certain objectives of their own going on. Moving along. Very, very cool. So here's peas. So I got that. Now, I ran out of tokens. I knew that was coming. one more item. Oh, check it out. I got 3 Ps. 3 Ps is awesome. Since I have the ability to get whatever I want now, it may be worth keeping these Ps and not trading them in because, you know, the likelihood of Kale getting swept off, sabotaged, is very high, which means these two would switch places, and then I would have the backup plan is that I have plenty of Ps to put on as the next undercut crop. So that's very nice. Last thing I need to do on this turn is a lengthy turn, but check it out. I can use this. Return 3 crops to previous status. Okay, so here's a great example of how to handle marker tokens because, you know, they are essentially treated as if they are crops, right? Any of the adversity cards, when it says return 3 crops to previous status, the result is the marker token always goes to the discard pile, regardless of what the card says. Okay, so return 3 crops to previous status. All that really means is I would take this off first. Okay, this is one crop. It is affected by the marker or the adversity card. Now, since it says return 3 crops to previous status, I'm going to take this card. And what's the previous status of this? Well, it began in the weight cube tray, right? And so I'm affecting the second crop. There is no third crop. It's a phantom crop. If there were one, I would have to do something to it too. But in this particular scenario, the cucumbers, once planted, are actually plucked back off of the field and returned to the weight cube tray, which means now I have to make a decision to get rid of chard. Alright, 4. Yeah, now we're going to do the undercut crop, I guess. And peas. Oh, wow, even more peas. Okay, I don't need that many peas anymore. That plan kind of fell through. So now 3 peas is going to come. It's not going to become kale because I already have the trading house. That's redundant. So I'm going to do broccoli instead. So 3 peas in a pod. I don't need no broccoli, according to a certain popular song. Alright, and I kind of did that wrong. I'm not supposed to return those 3 to the weight cube tray and the draw bag until you've drawn out the right one. Okay, so here's a 1. Return 3 crops to uncultivated. Now I was testing this in the first 12 rounds to see what would happen, but you know, in this particular case, I'm going to see what just when in the game are they successful at actually getting the undercut crop. And in many of my playtests, they have not been successful, which is wonderful because again, we don't want nobody wants to blow out early on. That just dampers enthusiasm quicker than anything. So, there's no tension, there's no suspense, there's no drama, there's nothing. Okay. So we're gonna go with cucumber. Yeah. Okay, let's use trading house. We're gonna grab some kale. This person over here needs to get on the ball and figure out how to play some offense. Right? Because now we're looking at some seriously dynamic play going on over here. They're a threat to win. The other thing, of course, I'm testing is like, well, how easily can they play defense, right? You know, rolling the number 2 activates these adversity cards, which can be used against them. But the other possibility is rolling a 6. Now, so that gives them a 1 in 3 chance of playing offense, and so you know. Those odds are good, but those are still probabilities. You know, luck is involved, and so you got to kind of test the vulnerabilities early in the game, just to see going on? Okay, so there's productive. Is it so? Okay, so I got 3 charged. Now I need to seriously think about, here's where some cool decisions have to be made. I have 10 tokens. That will bring me in the range of, buying something kind of cheap in the resource shop. The other possibility is trying to focus on growing a nice crop, maybe even getting to scoring an Ukta. Or the other possibility is saving up some cash in order to compete for the undercut crop, which is a wonderful carrot dangling on a stick. And so, what are we going to do, Chief? I don't know. Multiple paths to choose from at this point, and so let's take the 3 chart. And the fateful decision is, yeah, let's try it. Why not? I'm going to go for that UC. The big UC, as I call it now. Okay, so here is gamble. Not gonna do it. Ollie, Captain Ollie. So here's a 6. Now, like I said before, I have to grow again. I have to pay 15 tokens for the barrier to entry fee in order to grab this out from under them. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. So I need these spinach and squash. Notice that we're still on the first 12 rounds, but soon to be not. So let's see if they can get that kale up and going here. Nope, can't gamble. Don't have to do that. What are we going to do here, Chief? Man. Okay, here's a failure on my part. I don't play Ukta perfectly. I don't expect anyone to. But there's some good players out there. The failure of on my part is I failed to protect the spinach when I had every opportunity to put that sentinel on there with marker token. I didn't do it, and so spinach, we must part ways. Fair spinach, which is pretty good for you. Fresh cut, that is. Okay, spinach goes to the wall. Apparently Popeye eats his spinach. Because he's Popeye the Sailor. Here we go. Remove 2, nope. Gambling, nope, not gonna gamble. And, check it out. We have made it through the entire growing season, 12 rounds of play. We reset gamble tokens, and we would place market tokens on adversity cards. Don't have any. So, now we're productive. So we're going to go try for this undercut crop again. I only have 1 token. This thing's dangling out here. Nothing to protect it. No shelter. Give me some shelter, according to Rolling Stones. That's obviously not how that song goes. Okay, so number two. These. Stars and Stripes forever. Give me some Sousa, yo. Okay, let's go with. Okay, I don't turn the kale over. And here is the moment of truth. Check it out. If I roll a productive farm roll on the undercut crop, wow, we're ripe and ready to market. You know what that means. Oh, crap. No, it doesn't. Because I missed it by 3 points. Can't do it because it's not planted on that credit card. But I will still be eligible for the bonus. And so you must remember, even if you don't get the UFTA, you also get the possibility of whatever bonuses are available. So you gotta bear that in mind. Yes, here we go. So we're going to do it. KO on the wrong one. Because it's at the Ukta, so I get 3 points for that, plus 1. So there's 4 tokens. We're going to say we're up 1. Let's just do it the right way. And then we collect the undercut crop, which is nice. This goes up. Kale stays down because even though we're discarding stuff, Kale stays down the market because we are harvesting at this point. Harvesting is the only time when crops move down in value because of a flooded market. So we have 60 tokens. There's the 60 tokens, and then we put this back. Grab our next one. Oh, and we mustn't forget the subsidy. Subsidy is available. So, broccoli schmuckly goes up in here. Now we have 64 tokens. 10% of that is 6. 4 rounds down, right? If it were 65, it'd round up to 7. 64 and below goes down to 6. That's going to go with these people. Very good score. And so here we have a case where the undercut crop was sought and it was collected by the same person. This person didn't have a chance to play defense, but that's okay because they are not exactly out of it. I mean, we're still able to compete. At this point, we have 24 points to their 63 or 4? 73. Okay, which seems like a major deficit, but watch out, because they can get the undercut crop again. They can start it over, right? And that's worth it. And, scoring Uktas are worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in. So many options, so many choices. Let's try KO. Yep. Now we're going to try for it. It's kind of interesting. If somebody finishes the undercut crop, it's very likely it's going to be the same crop that it's harvested again. And so, bearing that in mind, you do kind of need to keep track. That's one case where keeping track of the cards does matter because, yes, repeating the undercut crop, it's already been chucked in the discard pile, so you're going to run out. There's only 5 altogether in the game. Good chance that somebody over here might have some KO as well. So that's where really savvy players. I do not include myself among them. But the real ones can probably keep track a little bit better than me and take advantage of that. And so there's what am I going to do? I'm going to grab some more out of here. At this point, I know there's more kale. There's only 2 there. There might be one here too. So there's at least one more in there. But, come to think of it, that is a pretty low odd. Low odds, isn't it? And they have the trading house, which means they can grab whatever they want. So I'm having misgivings. Since I haven't officially ended this turn, not a reneg, we're going to return this right back to where she was. And we're going to ignore this one. We can't use this one because this occurred after this. So let's do radishes. Potatoes. Alright, let's try some potatoes. Okay, so that's going to cost me 2. I could also make a purchase though. Darn it. See, this is, I chose to farm instead of make a purchase. I'm going to put the market token in. They don't have an adversity card, so I'm not going to double up on the market token. See, their status over here affects what I'm doing. So I'm not going to do that. So now we're going to switch K over to P's. Nice. Now we're going to buy marker token. Let's see what we got. See, all that stuff that I just talked about, I was wrong. I should have doubled up over here. because I didn't really count on the fact that there's a 1 in 3 chance that they rolled a 2. And since they rolled a 2, they were able to purchase this wonderful card. And now, because this particular adversity says to remove 2 crops, that's exactly what I do. I remove the marker token crop, and then I remove the actual crop. There it is. This player over here, again, is very lacking in offense. And so we need to make sure that some opportunities to block them, or at least slow down their progress. Right? Nope. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to disc. Yeah, are we going to disc? No. No, now I'm going to make a major purchase. Crop insurance. Awesome. And I'm gonna purchase a high tunnel for your outstanding cards. Now we're gonna have trouble here because now we can't remove the undercut crop. And so this may be very difficult. There's not going to be a whole lot of offense played on this person, so they really need to tack down and just focus on doing what they can do on the turn. Broccoli goes to radishes. And now I can see, of course, crop insurance awfully cheap. There's 1 or 2 falls, I'm thinking, in the later game, because a lot of these decisions were made after the very, very careful balancing of the numbers. There's a good chance that the crop insurance and the trading house may need to be beefed up, which, by the way, is a very easy thing to do for the printers. So, as long as I don't order a bunch of these before I'm ready, I'm okay. Okay, return 3 crops. By the way, in case anyone cares, we're coming up on about 400 hours of playtesting. So, every time you see a nice game in a store somewhere, or even on Kickstarter or whatever, trust me, there's a serious commitment to time, love, labor to these products. Believe me. Okay, so here's a 6, and we're gonna go with... Okay, so now I'm gonna try to avoid the. Now I'm gonna put 10 tokens on here, which, again, my gameplay is affected by them. I really don't want them to mess up my cucumbers. So I do not have extra funds to make a purchase, which might be very beneficial to me. Greenhouse would be... In fact, the greenhouse, for this player, the greenhouse is looking very rosy. So is the disc. Now, this is where the beauty of actions and activities is elucidated. What we're going to do is we're going to grab what we want using the trading house. That's an activity, free. And we'll grab extra. We already have 2 kale there. And I'm fairly well protected since I have crop insurance. So I'm going to try to grow something else. I'm going to try to hoot it. No, I changed my mind. The new strategy is I'm going to try to use a high tunnel in conjunction with the UC and try to see if we can score massively on this particular possibility. Okay, so there's the kale. We're going to get rid of those. Yes. We got rid of chard. Okay, so there's the trading house. Now we're going to use 2 actions. 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so this person's going to buy it. We're going to use, they're going to use their blade. Because they can. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to harvest. Alright, serious firepower on this side. Really good harvest. Okay, and so there's the piece. And I'm set up for potentially paying for the barrier to entry. Oh, no. I don't have to do that. I will get the barrier to entry. So I just need to try to protect my asset, which is very pricey now. Okay, so clean these. Yeah, ask anybody that's put Protect Net over their investment, whether or not that was a little on the pricey side. Okay, so here's a 5. Okay, they're already doing the chard. Okay, I can compete with them. Let's try it. I think that's probably the best thing. So 5, 1, 2, 3. The only problem with doing that is I know the adversity is coming, right? If the adversity is coming, this is going to be difficult. And I don't have enough to protect this, and so bad news. Okay, now we got fungal infestation. Let's return 3 cups to uncultivated status. Why did they lose 10 tokens? Because, even though this crop is not, it's already uncultivated, it's not affected. However, the 2 marker tokens are affected. They are essentially the 2 other crops that are being affected by this. They don't return to uncultivated status because they get returned to the depository. Okay? That should become pretty easy to figure out with a little bit of familiarity with the game. Yeah, it helps to conceptualize this as the undercut crop is a fluid thing. It's dynamic. We have options because the UC can be started over again for anyone. It's up for grabs the entire game. Even if completed once, it's always available for the next go around. Okay, so these. Here we go, number 2. Make it so, number 2. I think I'm off by a number there. Okay, so chard is. Okay, this person has the luxury of playing offense, so I can move those beans back. And what I can do, I'll use the number 2 roll to move the chard. Even though I planted chard, it is shooting me in the foot. I can do a couple awesome things. I can depreciate this in value. Okay. And I have the luxury of the high tunnel, which means I can grow more chard. Yeah, I have the trading house, which means I can keep fishing for chard out of here and diminishing their chances. Now, of course, I happen to know that they, because I'm the omniscient player, right? The playtester, so I happen to know they have chard. But as the optimal strategy for this person, they don't know everything, is to try to get some more chard out of here and deplete the chard. If I deplete the chard, they are going to have a tougher time growing that crop, right? So I'm going to grow more chard. I'm going to look all super intimidating to them. I plant it. It's a free thing to do with the high tunnel. And now I'm going to flip it, and that is going to cost me an action. It's funny, I'm cash poor, but asset wealthy. You know what I mean? I don't have fluidity with funds, but my assets are outstanding. And so, the assets are monolithic in this game. They don't move. You know, the only thing that's liquidated is the actual tokens. They're liquid. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the opportunity. I'll just leave it. If I move the chart again, that's working against me. So one's an adversity, and we're going to get 10 tokens. Oh yeah. These goes to bro. Oh, baby. There we go, 6. So we'll get rid of that, and now we're gonna go with we're gonna haul those bad boys in, and here is the loveliness of that bad boy high tunnel. I only have to pay 1 token to do that. Now before I get started, because I know I'm gonna forget, I would rather resolve my tractor return issue, you know, because I can do that at any time. It's an activity. And now, here we have a tricky scenario. We have a tricky scenario. I'm ready to harvest chard. I haven't paid the barrier to entry fee, okay? And so this is no good. So I'm using that 1 token that I did. I'm only going to harvest the corn. Remember, I'm not obligated to harvest everything. You're not obligated to. You can pick and choose. More loveliness of the game manifesting itself. And so corn is going to get harvested. So this one. And that is going to set me up for next time for a wonderful opportunity, if it should arise, to pay for the barrier to entry fee. Now notice, even though I harvested corn, notice that I do not have to flip this back over. This is an issue that has not been discussed elsewhere. Harvesting 1 crop instead of all of them on a field where we have used the high tunnel to place crops, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be harvested. You can have scenarios where some things get harvested and some don't. And so what we're doing here is we harvested corn, and because there are still items planted, we do not flip it over. So that takes care of that. And now I'm going to use the second action. Yep. I'm going to pay the barrier to entry fee. And now, just because I have additional chard on here, the barrier to entry fee only gets paid once. Even if I harvest multiple items on this, the paying for the barrier to entry fee is a one-time fee of 15 tokens. Okay. I'll move the beans up. That's what I'll do. Sorry, I can move them anywhere I want. So let's think about this. We're on broccoli. Perhaps just chard potatoes are coming up. So yeah, I'm going to move chard. This is a great use of the greenhouse. Greenhouse has sort of been a neglected piece. I haven't mentioned it in at other opportunities, other videos, but the greenhouse, because I can place it anywhere in the market, I can take my undercut crop, move it up, and just really score huge now. Right? So wow, look out this player. Yikes, serious scoring going on. And I'll use the trading house. Use the trading house to grow. I'll get some potatoes out of here. Why am I getting potatoes? Because it's going to be up. It's potential for oop to happens in a couple rounds. And so I want to be prepared for that. I want in on that action, yo. Just like, what do you call it? Investment banking. Yeah, let me in on that. Bitcoin. I still don't know what Bitcoin is. I mean, I've had people explain it to me, but I'm rather dense sometimes. Okay, remove 2 crops from the field. Okay, chart. Got some theme music to the old Zelda Ocarina of Time. One of the masterpiece video games by Miyamoto and friends. Okay. That's good. Peas. What are we gonna do? Boy, so many options now. This person's very, very powerful. We can do 1, 2, 3 activities every turn on top of 2 actions when there's productive farming. So, wowza. But oddly enough, we're still very cash poor. It's funny. It's like when a very wealthy person says, "Hey, I need to borrow some money." What's wrong with you? Well, because I have all assets, but I have no liquid funds. Okay, so we're gonna go with peas. Beans goes here. What do we want to plant? I know what we want to do. We want to get the trading house. We're going to fish for some more chard. And again, the keeping track of cards is not my forte. I've never been good at that, but I do know that many people are. So we're gonna we use the trading house. Now we're going to use a high tunnel to plant this for free. And now we're going to use a green. No, we like the green. We like the chard where it's at. So let's go ahead and we're OFTing on chard, aren't we? Holy shnikes, Batman! This is going to be a gigantic score for this person. Okay, so. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they scored huge. That's because they're smarty pants that got all the right stuff right there. Okay, so we're gonna cultivate and harvest. We got 3 chard that are ooftying, and they're the undercut crop. Holy shnikes, Batman. Can you say, open the Scrooge McDuck vault? Open Sesame. I believe in Tales of Scheherazade. Okay, so we have chard. Chard goose. Or 1001 Arabian Nights, I believe it's called. Okay. And you know, the great storytelling, of course. It reminds me of 2 films where we have Out of Africa and The English Patient, which to me are elevate the craft of the storytelling. Highly valued in society. Okay, so we're gonna go with no. It's only... Okay, so now we're gonna go with chard. Yeah, we scored huge. We already got the undercut crop. Now we're gonna score the Ooptis. I was wrong in other previous videos. I said it's 21 points for a triple Ooptis. It is not, because it's actually 7 plus 6 plus 5. So I think it's 18. It's 21 extra tokens, but you're losing 1 token every time because the slot goes down. think I can do that right. So the bonus is technically plus 21, but because you're losing a spot every time you do the actual harvest, you're losing minus 3. So it is, in fact, a net worth of 18. And that's something, you got to figure out. It doesn't matter what you do, there's costs involved. You get an MBA or something, you're a business leader. You're always worried about margins, cost of production, right? Well, that is a cost of production. The reality of scoring and harvesting in UPTA is not only the loss of spaces as you harvest, but also, of course, the cost of production to do the work in the fields, right? What are your labor costs? Okay, all that comes off your bottom line, and then you got a net profit, right? And the net profit here is a very, very handsome score because we figured out how to make wise purchases in the market to maximize our profitability and productivity, right? So we have a boom. We have an amazing surplus here. So we got 10, 30, 40. Looks like 48 points over there. So 5 tokens goes to them. And if you want to really know, this may be the largest harvest that I've ever done. Largest single harvest because it includes the undercut crop and a triple UPTA, which this is like winning the mega lottery. Stuff that just doesn't happen at all. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40. And Cubby's winning. But you know what? Both things have happened, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 70, 85.